Does anyone ever remember in the olden days when you used to see people on TV like that used to work behind the computer and they had one of those weird keyboards that weren't normal. They were like split in half. Well, it turns out that's an Alice layout keyboard. And I've always wondered, why did we use them, or who came up with that idea? Well, I guess in today's video we're going to find out by looking at this bad boy. Now, like we said from the start, the A72 mechanical keyboard is slightly different to what we're normally used to. This is more of a ergonomic, I think it's called ergonomic Alice layout. So we've got the 72 key layout, 60% compact wireless keyboard. So let's get into it. Right, so we've got the keyboard itself, plastic protective cover, as well as a little bag. We'll get that to one side. The manual that it comes with, going to tell you everything you need to know about it. So inside the box, we do get a white USB to USB Type-C cable, nice solid cable. We do get a bag of 4 extra switches, as well as a little guitar pick tool, as well as a keycap and switch removal tool with a nice RK logo going on there, which was quite nice. And there we have the Ergonomic A72 68% keyboards. That actually sounds incredible. So yes, a little bit of a different one compared to some of the other ones we have done in the past. Like I said, this is 72 key Alice keyboard featuring a split design. So it's angled design that promotes, like, it's something to do with like natural typing positions to reduce the wrist and forearm strain. So which is quite nice. And I know a lot of people I've spoke to regarding this keyboard, they say it like minimizes fatigue during like extended use. And obviously, the matter of fact, it's compact. You're not like overstretching. You're just pretty much laid out, which does have its purpose. I wouldn't say more for like the gaming era. I couldn't imagine gaming on this, but I guess like the way the Q, A, and Z is split, so they're like traditional. Then the Alice side of it splits. I guess it could be. You could use it as a gaming keyboard, but I'd probably say this is more for you writers out there. But anyways, let's have a proper look. So the one they sent over was the matcha green version. So we have the all white caps, we have the green matcha color, as well as the browns going on. And I do actually quite like it. You can get this keyboard in 3 different color variations, which is the matcha green. You've got the cloudy black, which I do like the look of, as well as the sky blue. But the matcha green one, it does look really nice. Now, the one thing I did look at is the Royal Kludge little button up here is actually a little magnetic slide. And I was wondering, why is that there? When you actually tap on this, it loads up a script to their website. And I believe you can change that through the software, which we'll look at. So the keyboard itself, they have added in all the F keys, which are listed just underneath the number keys. So they're still there. They're just at more of an angle, which isn't bad. So you can still see them. And we still have the Windows, Mac. And then we've got 1, 2, 3 for your Bluetooth. Because remember, this is a tri-connectivity board, so we can use it through wired, Bluetooth, as well as 2.4 gigahertz. Little receiver on the back there, which is quite nice. That just goes in there. Oops, without throwing it, that just goes in there, held in there with a magnet, so it's not gonna fall out, so you're all good to go. And then we have the USB port just there, so we can use this wired. Now on the back here, we do have again the matcha design, brown middle, and then the green on the outside. We've got 4 silicon little pads there. So obviously when this is on your desk, it's not going to start shaking about. But then we do have 2 levels of size increments on the actual back of the keyboard, and they've both got silicon tips as well. So I guess it all depends how you want your wrists to stand. I like mine sat up. So like I said about the tri-mode connectivity, you can easily switch between your 2.4 gigahertz and Bluetooth 5.0 or USB Type-C. We have like a little switch here. So the top is for your Wi-Fi, middle is wired, and B is for Bluetooth. And obviously with a Bluetooth one, you can connect up to 3 devices, which is quite handy. So they have went for more of a gasket structure to this. I'll put some pictures up of what the internals look like here. So we've got 5-layer dampening, so you can enjoy soft cushioning type feel with the A72's gasket mounted design that does reduce vibration. It's combined with 5 internal dampening layers, including dual sound absorbing foam, IXP switch pad, a silicon damper, as well as a PET film. And it effectively minimizes the hollow sound that you normally get from cheap keyboards and the cavity noise for a satisfying acoustic experience. Pairing that with a durable, oil-resistant cherry profile PBT keycaps and the latest texture for comfort, which is really nice, I've got to admit. Now, the one thing I did realize is the side that we do actually macro keys as well as easy media control. Normally, keyboards have them up in this side, but they've went for more of the left-hand side approach, which I don't mind. So we've got customizable M1 to M5 macro keys, ideally for like shortcuts for like complex commands. And obviously we do have the convenient volume knob as well for media keys, provided like instant access to your audio adjustments, ensuring seamless control, just so it doesn't affect your workplace, I guess. If it's right here, you don't have to go through messing around. You can just, yeah. Now, the one thing I was quite surprised about, obviously, if you're not going to use this in a wide capacity, it does have quite a big battery capacity. It's got a 7,500 milliamp hour battery. So, like, if you're going to use this without RGB, you can get around about 550 hours out of it, which is pretty cool. But if you are going to use the backlight, you will get around about 54 hours with it, which isn't too bad still. You don't need to use the RGB by all means, but it's honestly, it's not that bad. So if we go over the keyboard settings, we've got the normal settings of Windows and Mac. We can change these depending on the device you're using, which is quite nice. And then we also have some layers that we can change out, depending on what you're going to be using this keyboard for. If you've got like 3 different attributes that you change it for, we can do that as well. So we've got FN1, FN2, FN3. So what we can do is change through. And as you can see, they're already preset things. So we've got like the Bluetooth 1, 2, and 3, Windows and Mac, and they're already set up. You can change them yourself. Now, this is what I was talking about, the Open Touch panel. So if I click on the Open Touch panel and change this to youtube.com, click on Confirm. Now, I've got on a new browser. If I tap the button in the middle, what will happen to the actual screen is you'll see it actually start typing youtube.com and it'll load it right up. So it's kind of like having an extra macro switch, which is actually quite handy. So if you have like a certain program or website you want to load up all the time, you can use this little guy up here and it changes it for you, which I think is actually pretty cool. Now, Macro Manager, like we were talking about before, we can set up different macros here. So we've got insert event, so we can insert an event before this or insert an event after this. So if you want a keyboard or a combination key, we can set that up here and then start recording. We got lighting modes as well. If you're going to be using RGB, we have a full light list here as well. So we've got everything from fixed to off to blue. You can fully customize the RGB, which is quite a handy little tip. We do have some functional settings, so it's clear key shake or work mode. So we can either have it on gaming mode or work modes. That's pretty much all you get. And then we also have the software drivers. If you want to update it. So we've got all that connection mode, triple mode. So we've got all that. Not as many features as what we have on some of the previous models, but I wouldn't expect it from a keyboard like this. Now let's talk about some of the specifications, which actually are pretty cool. So the keyboard itself, yes, it is a 72 key compact 68% wireless keyboard. It has tri-mode connectivity, including 2.5 GHz, Bluetooth and wired. We do have the ergonomic Alice layout with PBT keycaps, which isn't for everyone, but for workflow, pretty cool. The custom switches do come pre-lubed, so you're not going to have to worry about any squeaking. The gasket mounted typing feel, which is incredible, so let's listen to that now. Now, the gasket-mounted typing feel is incredible. As we just heard there, it sounds beautiful. This is a 68% ergonomic Alice layout mechanical keyboard. That is a split design that keeps your hands in a natural position so you can game or type all day without your wrists or forearms starting to hurt. Straight out of the box thanks to the 5 layers of noise dampening and pre-lubed custom switches. Plus, it's fully hot swappable if you want to customize it later. And check out the premium metal volume knob. It really is incredible that they've managed to add a multimedia knob as well as 3 multimedia buttons, allowing your workflow to not be interrupted when you need to mess around with your multimedia. And don't forget, it does connect to both Windows and Mac, either by Bluetooth 2.4 GHz or via a USB Type-C. And remember, the battery life is a massive 7,500 mAh battery that can last up to 550 hours with the RGB off. But if you are going to use it with RGB, just remember you will only get around 50 to 55 hours of continuous use. And the thing is, the price is as low as £90 at the time of recording. It comes in different variants of sky blue, cloudy black, and even the one we're looking at, which is matcha green. And it looks really, really good. This has to be one of the better entry points when it comes to ergonomic keyboards. So, do you really want to try an Alice layout? If you do, let me know in the comment section, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to check the links in the video description. Now, I have to admit, when I first
when I first looked into this and actually started doing the script for this video, I was actually quite surprised because there's a lot of medical benefits that come with using an Alice layout keyboard. Now, yes, we do have a split design on a 68% keyboard, and never matter of fact, all the other features, the matter of fact, the membranes, the switches, the battery life is absolutely incredible. But for me, the biggest thing is actually the medical benefits. So I didn't realize, obviously me being me, I use a wrist mat underneath my keyboard, always have done. It's just comfier. Well, the way Alice layouts are supposed to be, it stops your wrist from being straight up. It allows them to kind of tilt and stops put the pressure on your forearms and your wrist and even your fingers, which I was actually really surprised about. So I started using it for around a week when I was doing my videos, writing scripts, or just, general day-to-day use. I've been looking at this as like a freak show keyboard, but it's actually not. Beneficially, if you are someone who sits behind a desk and types all day, this is going to become your new best friend. And the perfect thing is, it's under £100 at the time of recording, of course. So please do check the links in the description. So if your job is purely typing and you look at a computer or whatever all day and type, you need this sort of keyboard. Now, if you'd asked me a month ago regarding something like this and someone showed me a picture, I would have said no straight away because I'd look at it, think, nah, it's not for me. But actually reading into the design, I'm actually pretty impressed. So, if you did enjoy the video, please do drop me a comment down below. I really appreciate it when you guys actually leave me comments. It gives me something to do. But at the end of the day, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Check the links in the video description. Remember, it doesn't just come in the matcha colour. It's got sky blue and charcoal black, I believe, which do look really nice. The black one is really good. But if you want to go check them out, please do check the links in the video description. There's a few links there for some of the other keyboards that I've done from RK, because I absolutely love their keyboards. They're budget friendly. They match the marketplace with some of the other stupidly expensive ones, and you can't go wrong. So please do check the links in the video description. If you've got any comments, you know where to put them. See ya.